So I had to, or I have been doing more research on YouTube now that I'm looking back to starting up Wing Chun Wednesdays here on our channel. And it seems that not much has changed in the martial arts world, let alone Wing Chun itself. And yeah, I'm going to acknowledge off the bat that I think that everybody who's in their selective niche martial art, Wing Chun, JKD, Kempo, kickboxing, MMA, I don't care. I think that everybody who's in their own selective, passionate group experiences the politics of Wing Chun, or excuse me, the politics of martial arts. And a lot of new guys are popping up on YouTube. There's a lot of saturated guys. Years ago, it was just like the Master Wongs and Jin Young, Jake Mace, and just there was a very few people out there. By the way, I saw one channel the other day, and they seem to be obsessed. It's two MMA guys who are obsessed with Wing Chun and Master Wong, and they're smart. The guy's got about, I think, between 5,000 to 8,000 subscribers, and a lot of their videos for SEO, search engine optimization, are titled Master Wong, and they talk about Master Wong, which is going to get him ranked among among his videos. But you got to look at something again. You guys can tear Master Wong apart left and right. The guy still has, I think, several million followers more than any one of us will ever have on YouTube, and he's influenced more and he's impacted more people. And to be honest, it's all about entertainment. And for a little bit behind the scenes here, I'll just let you know, I have talked to Master Wong. I had a personal conversation with him years ago. The guy knows exactly what the difference is between YouTube martial arts and real martial arts. So the guy knows what he's talking about. Anyways, all right, here's the top 5 things you need to know if you're going to be one of those persons who's comparing traditional martial arts to MMA, and why everybody in the world, well, is that going to work at MMA? Is Wing Chun going to work at MMA? Is kickboxing going to work at MMA? Is this and that? Here's all you need to know. It's as simple as this. Number one, you got movies. Number one, movies. What is movies? Completely scripted, choreographed, rehearsed hours and hours and hours and hours, angles with the camera so that you could punch 6, 7, 8 inches away from somebody's face and it looks like you're hitting them right in the face, and completely 100% safe. That's movies, okay? Martial arts and movies. Demos and new student recruit, what do you call those? They're demos. That's what they are, demos. It's scripted, completely scripted. Sifu or sensei says, throw this punch, I do this, you do that, I do this. It's designed to purely get students. They're put on a good show to show you what the martial art can do. And again, 99.9% safe. Not as safe as the movies, because there's still some risk, based on how amped up somebody is, and what the Sifu chooses to do in front of the audience is watching to make sure that he impresses people to get new students. But it's more safe than that. MMA, boxing, kickboxing, any sporting event. Now we're talking about weight classes, equality. Usually the same style on style. Boxing, grappling, and kickboxing all hooked into one. MMA, boxing, kickboxing, grappling, MMA versus MMA, boxing versus boxing, kickboxing versus kickboxing. So you're matched upon matched, period. You have time to train, conditioning. Sometimes drugs are involved, sometimes they're not. Doesn't really make a difference. And referee and rules. And I know that's the number one thing that people talked about over the years with street fighting and MMA is rules. No, rules is irrelevant when you really think about it. It's more along the lines of the weight classes that are matched. You're fighting somebody relatively the same size as you, and you get time to train. Referee, rules, that's secondary and third. I'm not really worried about that. Frick. Number 4 is going to be your street fight. Your typical, everyday, average street fight. What do you got? You're in a bar. You huff up, you bump into somebody, and the fight is on. Well, you got to break that fight down a little bit. It's less safe than MMA. Movies is ultimately safe. The demo is a little bit less safe, but it's just as safe. MMA, safety, because you got rules and you got ref. But when it comes to the street fight, you don't really know your opponent most of the time, or sometimes maybe you do. There's a lot of posturing. You're huffing up, and you're going to do a lot of bluffing to make sure that this guy doesn't... maybe he backs down, and you're like, yeah, that's what I thought. But it's 9 times out of 10, it's an out of shape guy who could be drunk, impaired, pissed off. A lot of emotion is involved. And it's an unmatched fight. Never goes the way somebody thinks. So you got to go back to the concept of movies, which are 100% scripted, demos, which are 99% scripted. You got to leave that real percent error for room for error. MMA, which is controlled, it's a controlled environment. Now you got a street fight, bar fight, domestic fight. You also have to look at the terrain. No rules. Are you inside? Are you outside? Are you in the middle of a living room? Is there tables? Are you on a hill and somebody's on a decline? How much clothing are you wearing? Are you wearing a winter jacket? Is there pavement? Is there broken glass? Are you inside of a car fighting? The environment is essential and it's huge. And then the intent of the person. What's the intent of the person? So you have to look at those kind of factors. So it's not safe at all. And it's 99.9% of the time unmatched. 99.9% of the time unmatched. Then lastly, the number 5th thing is ambush. There is no defense. No defense against a well-planned ambush. I'll say that again. There is absolutely no defense against a well-planned ambush. I don't care if you guys are sitting there trying to train, well, this is how I'm going to attack somebody if I'm woken up out of a dead sleep. Okay, good luck with that. Oh, this is how I'm going to attack somebody if I'm urinating and I'm standing at the urinal and both my hands are, they're occupied. Okay, good luck with that. There is no defense against a well-planned ambush. Period. End of story. The attacker usually means to do more than just harm to you, and it's a bad circumstance at all. So for everybody who's comparing traditional martial arts and MMA, what are you always looking to see? The technique. The technique. I want to see a bong sao put inside. I haven't seen a bong sao in an MMA fight. I haven't seen a bong sao in this. You see it in the movies. You see it in the demo. Sometimes you can make an excuse like Anderson Silva used a bong sao or Conor McGregor used a pak sao or whatnot. You can make what they did fit your narrative. The street fight, which in that circumstance, it may be over in the blink of an eye. There's no time link, there's no rounds, and it's going to be a complete mess. And that's where you have to rely on the application of your instinctive training to kick in. And then ambush, where you're never going to see it at all. So if you're going to compare traditional martial arts to MMA and then say on all these people's YouTube channels, oh, this doesn't work, oh, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, you have to first admit what you're comparing it to. You have to be able to say, all right, I'm going to evaluate this person's video. I don't think this thing would work in an MMA environment. I don't think this thing would work if you're in a dead sleep. I don't think this would work X, Y, and Z. You have to concede. You have to concede 100%. That at one point in time in history, 100% of every single martial art technique has worked in some element. Could have been in an ambush, could have been when you're in a street fight, could have been in the movies. But 100% of the time, every single martial art technique in the world has worked in some context. So when you're doing these evaluation videos, you guys got to start being a little bit more honest with your audience and start saying why you're evaluating it. What is the point of it? Again, my training, I couldn't give a shit if it fits in the MMA. I don't care if it gives a shit, if it works out of your dead sleep. I don't care if it works in the movie or not. I care about creating an entertainment platform, passing along something that I fell in love with, and if somebody can make it work in a fight, great. I know I can. If they can't make it work in a fight, well, then go call Donnie Yen and see if you could be in a movie and show them how damn good your wusao is. It's as simple as that. Guys, comparing MMA and traditional martial arts doesn't really work. You need to compare the person to the person. And I don't know how many people of us on YouTube throughout the years have said that. Never compare the art to the fight. Compare the fighter to the fighter. And it's as simple as that. I'll see you guys in the next video.